Parliament. Once I've declared, the conduct, our own conduct is expected to be that of an honorable member, meaning Ritswara Hantle. If you want to speak, you'll raise your hand, you'll be pointed, and you'll speak without being disrupted, and equally you will not disrupt others. So let me just get the administrative issues out of the way. I, Matume Kopano Chilwane, the chairperson of Education Portfolio Committee, hereby declares Magaliesberg Secondary Boarding School and its surrounding premises as the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature in terms of Rule 56 of the Standing Rules of the Gauteng Legislature, read together with Section 1 and 2 and Section 28 of the Powers, Privileges, and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act Number 4 of 2004. The precinct of Parliament, Provincial Legislature are described as follows. The precinct of Parliament is the area of land, every building or part of a building under Parliament's control, including the chambers in which the proceedings of the House are conducted, the galleries and lobbies of the chambers, every part of the building in which the chambers are situated, and every forecourt, yard, garden enclosure, or open space appurtenant thereto, committee rooms and other meeting places provided or used primarily for Parliament's purposes, and every other building or part of a building provided or used in connection with the proceedings of Parliament while so used. For the duration of this meeting, this place will be the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. Thus, the standing rules of the legislature will apply and govern all the engagements of the day. So I've declared the venue. Now it's now recognized as a venue for a precinct of the legislature. Okay, our program begins with a silent prayer. Do we have somebody to pray? Tabo? Actually, I need... okay, we're going to begin with a moment of silence. We will all stand up because of COVID-19 to recognize all the learners and the teachers that have lost their lives due to the pandemic. We're going to honor them for a minute of silence, and then we're going to sit down instead. Thank you. Okay, honourable members, I have welcomed yourself to this meeting. Yes, I have welcomed yourself to this meeting. This is a meeting of the Portfolio Committee on Education. So everything, the process that always is undertook in all our meetings is going to continue even here now today. So can I have a confirmation of the agenda?
I second, Chairperson.
Try to control it, please. Say. All right. No, thank you. The agenda has been confirmed. This is our public meeting. Obviously, we have, as a committee, undertook a focused intervention study around asbestos schools. But however, because it's a public meeting and the department is here, to discuss about NABA. Yeah, if there are issues, it's stakeholders of the education stakeholders. So sometimes there are many issues that of interest they might want to raise. But however, the focus of today is asbestos schools and the program to eradicate them. How far is that process? So those of you who don't know what is the role of our committees, the role of a portfolio committee is to do oversight, to hold the particular specific departments accountable according to their APPs, annual performance plan, is to do, is also responsible for lawmaking, public participation, public hearings, like this one, focus intervention study, budget processes, quarterly and annual report assessment, and the processes thereof. That is the role of a portfolio committee. So basically, we hold the department accountable on its plans. So without really wasting much time, we are going to get a presentation from the department. It will be presented by the HOD, since the MEC is on his way. And then from there, we'll then take up discussions. HOD?
Thank you very much, Chair. Can we have the presentation maybe flighted? Chair, thank you very much, honorable members. We are bringing a report of the department on what we have done, what we are still to do, and what we are doing as part of the replacement of asbestos schools in the province. Well, the first thing is the presentation on? We want everybody else to follow. The one thing that we know, Honorable Chair, is that asbestos schools, like mobile schools, so we equate both mobile and asbestos in one. Our view is that every school in the province must be a brick and mortar school. But the downside of it is that the aspect of immigration into the province, the total number of people that we get annually in the system, makes the process of building schools, which is, by the way, a responsibility of another department, to be delayed. Just for the members to know, the education system in Gauteng, last year alone, in 2021, we had a total of 102,000 new people coming into Gauteng. 160,000 young children on scholar transport. Every morning, 160,000 young people across are being taken to be transported to their schools. And the reason why you have that is because there are no schools in some communities. You will therefore note that we are moving at a faster pace, and we are happy that in the State of the Province address, the Premier of the province said, treating infrastructure as an emergency. We must be able to treat infrastructure as an emergency. Not only did the Premier say that, even the President said, how we build schools, because by the time we will be bringing schools to accommodate the 160,000 young people, some of us will be dead. We must do it now. The need is now, the need is not in the future. So, Chair, now that we have the presentation, I have given you a sense of how far we have come. Am I going to move it, or is somebody controlling it? Can you control? I will continue. I'll leave it here, it's okay. We have been called to come and talk about asbestos schools in the province. Where did we schools register of needs? This register was developed in 1996. 1996, post-democracy in 94, the school register of needs was the first report that the democratic government got to know where our schools are across the country, even in the province, and how these schools were to look into how far we were coming with respect to this particular matter. What we were able to find out is we then began to classify some. It's important to understand ourselves. How do we get to build? Because when we've given schools money, we also don't want SGBs to be building some shabby structure. We don't want a school that you build a building or you build it in an area that is not proclaimed or an area that is in a wetland. How do we manage for that process? We have what we call the regulation. So, every school's ability, however, it is not a preferred mode. Unfortunately, after the regulations were promulgated, national government gave some money, and that money was allocated to provinces. Unfortunately, there's one province or two provinces that did not benefit from that national allocation to build a program that was called ASIDI, Accelerated School Infrastructure Development Initiative. The only two provinces that were excluded, all other provinces received money. And when they received that allocation, they were receiving because those provinces like Limpopo, Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, to an extent, Free State, many of them had schools built out of mud. They also had asbestos, so they had many more schools that were built of inappropriate structures unlike us. And we, in 2020, because we reported as a province that, hey, they are built of inappropriate structure, asbestos, but you are not including us. There's a new regulation that came, that was introduced so that we can manage this. And that regulation was the Asbestos Abatement Regulation. How do we manage to deal with asbestos as they are trying to get us more money? And it does not, these regulations were saying, it does not mean that you have asbestos schools, you cannot use them, but you need to be treating those as that asbestos in a particular way. When you, for example, in a particular way, every year you must do certain things, because when you do that, you are able to minimize the potential health risks and hazards that come with asbestos. And that's why we have continued to utilize asbestos schools with that management, but it's on the basis that we are also working to replace asbestos schools. We don't want asbestos schools. Let's move on. Can we move on? Please change the slide. Whoever is helping, because I want to be on the same. It's not moving here. Can I move on my side? On the Teams online, but the people in the hall are not winning. We want whoever is controlling for those that are online, you are disadvantaging. All right, there we are. So, chairperson and members, where are we as a province with asbestos schools? We can report the following. And we have continued to report the following. For in Gauteng, on a little 29, 29. Principal office, it was asbestos, classrooms, asbestos, storerooms, asbestos, 29. The big question then is, what then do you deny? We have gone through a process since the 5th edition that we must always make sure that we comply and abide by, and we are managing that as we move along. We can move on. I don't have to be talking a lot on these regulations. Let's move on. So, Chairperson, honorable members, and members of community, you will ask us, how does the GDE and
Honorable
those
Chair,
that
we
are
can't hear a
responsible
single
for
word.
infrastructure
I think the sound is
get
terrible.
to know what we
If
do
we can be
with our
assisted by those
infrastructure?
that are operating the system, please.
We have what we do what we call a condition assessment. Re lebella hore maemo a dikolo tsa rona kaofela a byang. Re be re di rate, re difa number. Ho lebella on this slide, re bontsha how we rate the conditions of our schools. Because as we rate that, the conditions, it also tells us that we have more danger in certain schools than we have in other schools. And we must prioritize schools where there would be danger. For example, if hereditary assessment and we get to a point of a 5, we say that school is in an excellent condition because there were no defects that were seen, that the appearance of the school is new, that no effect of a potential service capability, so it becomes a 5. Now let me give you an example. We are in this school. I'm sure all of you can agree that if we look at this school, we can give it a 5. We may not necessarily be ourselves architects and other things, but just as you walk and drive into Magaliesberg Secondary, this school has got everything from a brick and mortar type of situation, and this school, therefore, when we do a condition assessment, is classified as a 5. There are schools that are not like Magalies, their condition is still okay, but they may not necessarily be in the same league as Magaliesberg Secondary. When it happens in that, and that's where, for example, we may be seeing the wear and tear, either the roof is starting to leak, or if it was corrugated iron, and so on, but it is still strong, and all of that, we give it a 4. And it continues. But you see, there are schools where we may also be classifying them when we get to a school. And I repeat, no. How that school, we classify it as 1. It's just that I'm trying to determine which school, and I don't have a name immediately that comes to mind in this area that I will be telling you about. So we do this for all of our schools. There are schools that we have classified as 5, others as 4, and this rating helps us to then allocate a budget for the repairs of these schools. So we don't just allocate a budget willy-nilly. We will say, this is what the condition assessment has said about this school. We must give it more money than the other. Can you imagine us giving more money for maintenance at this school compared to a school that is classified as a 1? It don't be fair. So this is the best that we can do on a fairness basis. Let's move on. So we have shown you how we do condition assessment. We have spoken about 29 schools. But in Gauteng, in the next slide please, in Gauteng, there are some schools that are built part brick and mortar and part asbestos. The 29 schools were are completely asbestos schools, but there are 214 schools in the province that have some part of their brick and mortar, but you will find that in some corner there is asbestos. So we have gone to also know about those schools because they have some classrooms. Let's move on to the next slide. We want to show you of our commitment to eradicate asbestos schools. I have spoken about schools that were asbestos and we have cleared them, and those are the schools. When you see it close out, it means that we are now done, we have moved out of that school. Those are the schools that we have: Paul Mosaka, Everest, Primary, Onverwacht, Noorgesig. Those schools have been dealt with. These are the schools. Remember, we spoke of 29 schools completely built of asbestos. These are some of the schools that we have also prioritized: Rasteval, Nansfield Primary, E.W. Hobbs Primary, Mdeba Hlongwane, Rege Park, Ditau, Faresane Primary, Liitlo, Rivali Primary, Ranfontein Secondary, Fred Mahadi Primary, Velemina Hoskins, McBain, Charles Primary, Ducoms Rest Primary. All these schools are receiving a budget, and when you see, they say they are at inception. Inception is a stage in the build program. They would have had plans drawn, but those plans must now go to be approved by the municipality. There must be a point where they get approved by the municipality to be taken through for additional building. So you can see schools that are immediately receiving attention in this group. Let's move on to the next slide. There are an additional number of schools also built of asbestos that we are dealing with. And these are at planning stages. So what it means here, DID, the Department of Infrastructure Development, has appointed consultants to go and do a planning so that we can start to deal with developing the sites where these schools are, drawing plans, making sure that construction can come. And these are the schools that have also allocated funding for a planning purposes. If we then deal with the next slide, in the next slide we show schools that are also receiving attention that are not completely built of asbestos. Remember, Girile, honali dikolo tse leng asbestos completely. Again, we have told them. We have shown them to you. Now, there are schools that are asbestos, that are brick and mortar plus asbestos. Those are the schools that are now not completely asbestos, and they are in the construction phase as we talk about. Colleagues, let's move on to, we want to show you these examples of these schools and how many are they. These schools, let's move on to the next slide, please. You will see
All right. Okay, it's fine. Retabula mo. Wait. Now, Mokole. Armamelane. Rautol batla utla uchesa. Ke rile ha ke thoma meeting. One thing I won't tolerate is a disruption. This is a meeting of the committee of the legislature. So what we want here now, if there's an issue,
intervention.
No, wait. Now, ntwe batlehang. Wait, ntwe batlehang. Wait. Yeah, emanyana, ke a le utlwa. Yeah, what? Ange le ruta officer. So re tlo bula mo. A rena di fele kaofela la bona lo lona. So re tlo bula mo fela ro kene moya, re bule menyako. Ha le batla o bua, a se problem. Ha le batla o bua no phamisa letsoho, tla o fa chance. All right? Emanyana. Yeah. Emanyana. Wait a bit. No. All right. All right, no, it's fine. All right. I go let's disrupt. Can we not start this site as well? Ya letsola o ka le bona. Ha re allow HOD to aqede. All right? Ha qeta HOD. Ha qeta HOD. O tlo kena dikolo. O MEC, welcome. Wait, emanyana ke a le bona letsola hao. Ke tla o fa chance emanyana. Ha re feng HOD aqede. Ha qeta o presenter. Re tlo fa dikolo tse di leng teng opportunity. From there, le tlo kena everyone o tlo ba le chance ya o bua. Everyone o tlo ba le chance ya o express ntwe e le mo mafahleng a gae.
Hi everyone, I'm seeing all the messages in the chat.
Okay.
Myself and members have both reported the lack of sound to the venue. I think we're also quite disappointed. The service provider who's meant to do the hybrid element is really not delivered. So we're also quite upset about that. But I have reported it again, so hopefully we'll be back online in a few minutes. But really, apologies from our side. Can I just check from our legislative team? I see Charlene, you're here. I see many interdepartmental elements as well. Can somebody who is in the venue, who is also on this call, please communicate that side, because when I'm seeing messages and calling, I think there's also poor reception. They're not getting it in real time. I see Tabo's here, he should also be in the venue, and Charlene, and anyone else in the department who may be both in this session and please can you also report it for us, in addition to what I've done. Thank you everybody, and apologies again.
So Chairperson, hale lebella se se le mo screening. Le tla bona mo screening. There are 214 schools. Chairperson, am I protected?
All right. Okay. Kiabona, there's pending issues that. Wait, my man. Mamela, I'm saying, Langut, Kifeta Wali, the member, the department. Kiabona and El Pamistemaso. Maybe I really fair chance. I'm going to never do something. Really fair chance. Okay? All right. Baba, what do you Pamistemaso Babone? Tolifadi Mikey, the two Mamma Christi. The community. All right, then we'll respond because we can pick up on all problem. King, what 31? What 31? So, on a problem there. So, Kupa, those who are going to speak about Pamisema Soka born. I'm going to know Pamisis. What's up, Pamisis? It's a mobile. Kimamong, it's like. All right. Angere Buffalo Litri.
Honorable member, we can't see the slides.
Itlam Khalab, Skyam. Kofela Angere Hunyago we were. So, but what permission by 5. So, as a Menuto Bua, with our TV circle among, all right? And then we into a question or comment. Then we'll have opportunity. MEC thing, HOD thing, route 1. But during that process, kupa silence. During that process, kupa mamelani. All right.
Bakul. Lekay. Bakolo lekay. Kya dumedisa. Walin Jalamona. Oh. All right. Ki Manuel from Go Orientals. Ke kopa go botsa gore mo SGB ya mo sekolong sa secondary Magaliesburg secondary. Ana gona le motho wa Orientals o bona re mo tsebang. I miss it all. And get on telling her it's a lento. Relapilegento. Kikopa hore leboteng hore. Why was na SGB? The SGB the guy. The guy the SGB. Tell him what's going on. That's secondary. The guy. All right, are tlogele wow. Are tlogele. Ke kopa go botsa bagolo. Nare the way go tsagalang ka teng. It's one thing ntwa every day. It's one thing ntwa every day. Bagolo. Re na le dikolo tse kae fa? Ga isebe go bo ka dikolo tsa rona. Go bowa ka sekolo se iwana a re tsore ke se se kokae ke sama Ethiopia, re ke sama Zulu, re ke sama Xhosa, re ke sama Batswana, re ke sama bagolo, re lapile, re tsa rente. Re lapile. Bana ba rona ba tsenafa. Wow, bana ba rona ba tsenafa. Ene re tlo e fetsa ntho. Re tlo e fetsa ntho. Re tlo e fetsa.
Dumela Magolo. I'm just an ordinary member go tswa ko Orientals. Ka lebitso ke Jafta, sefane sa ka ke Jacobs. On behalf of my community, we are not happy anyway about the SGB e le goreng e mo secondary. Ke tlo emphasize go da ko ntwe le gore nda e time of etsa go e bolela ya SGB wa ntlhalwane ko ga a ke tlo kopa but those who are in charge, even I'm not scared, a ka tla ke tshogile. Whoever o in charge is the chairperson wa SGB ya mo Magaliesburg Secondary School.
Hi.
Prasthembi.
The speaker side.
Prasthembi, on behalf of the Committee of Orientals, ona re kopa wena le structure sa go with people ba ile gore you have nominated within that SGB. Tamile le step down. You must step down as the chairperson of the SGB. Ne kopo feletsa.
Hey.
Ne kopo feletsa. I think maybe can a lack of information or young, but re bana ba ba tsenang ka kwa ne ba ile gore ke tlo re ke the inhabitants tse ile gore tlamile di occupy these hostels, not teachers. Tlamile ba tlo occupy these hostels while go na le bana ba sekolo ba tlamile ba tlo occupy these hostels. Yamafelello, we have teachers by they are participating within the SGB. That thing must come to an end. We have people communities that must participate within that SGB, not teachers participating within that SGB.
To everyone on the virtual platform, I think it's now Q&A. It just
All right.
happens to be that a number of the speakers are speaking to different issues in their community. But it is difficult to communicate with those in the venue. But to my understanding, it's a Q&A session now from what the HOD presented. But of course, people will always bring in different issues. There's nothing we can do to control what community members say. But that's where we are, to my knowledge.
One thing.
Yeah.
Honorable MEC and your chairperson, le batho ba potologile. Akata tsurile mona. Ntho ya ntla, I'm surprised the chairperson SGB it go botsa potso. Yo botsa mampotso. As the chairperson of the SGB, we emela re emela o batlo counter attack. So I'm surprised. You are supposed to be there or there, but it's fine. Point number one, important. Regasi leading chairperson e appointan di-tender bosigo. I can attest to that. And Honorable MEC, as Jerry Simino, ke tswa Orange Hills, ke na le bopaki ba yona. I want city le ene mo bosigo re appointa a tender bosigo. So I re tlo lelwa ke sethemiso mosito appointa di-tender bosigo. We can prove it. So with the immediate effect, he must step down from this building. We can prove that today. Gore ke company efeng ya e appointed. The principal, Ritlile on Tuesday here. Ritlile on Tuesday, we honed you. Ya ke moshabi, re o honne le principal rare. Moskolonse, a go tlo ikeletswa fela fa. A go tlo ikeletswa fela. A gona SGB ka go pala mo di matlhogo ba go own. Re go fela di ngongorego tsa rona. We gave you days to respond. Mabane, ha re ntse re dotse. Re tswala one ya masepala e tsagala go Transnet a created and get hot councillor ba re bontseva ona le campaign e tlo se gantlaga. The very same campaign we said to him a gona campaign e appointilweng e tlo se gantlaga ha re fetso chifta re bona orientis go kene campaign ya motho be sa motšhino iwan ke na le di photos tsa teng e tlo se gantlaga because of the MEC and the chairperson are coming ba sa bona botlhatswa ba lona. Lechale SGB. So we are requesting, this is my last word. We are requesting chairperson and the MEC. We are saying, as the people, we are saying, as the people of Orientis, as the people of Orientis, abilities bandit structures, or this school, until the war. Thank you.
Are dumeleng bagolo le batjha o buang ke Patrick Oupa Matsose. Bagolo gona le ntwe nngwe e bang gore ke concern thata ka yone for sekolong fana. Bagolo SGB ya rona ga e re berekele. SGB ya rona e kgethilwe ga isune e kgethiwa be ba sa efe manifesto wa SGB for how to handle the community, which is the parents tsa bana ba ba leng for sekolo. Ane se so sengwe gape bagolo go tswa ka buota go ntse gona le corruption mo a isimolole ke dispopelo ba lona le reng ka jeko ke bone ba simoltseng corruption bone ba takeile over fela mo yone ba isa go pele. Gona no yana gona le baker parents ke mo kamplelo re ke baker mang e for sekolo. So someone must come forward a re bolelore ke baker ya mang ele. Selo se sengwe gape ifeko e rekisitswe SGB la yetsi na community la yetsi na ba sikile ba la addressa na. Ke kopa karabo mo bontatempa. Ke kopa karabo mo bontatempa. Ba tla mpha karabo gone ano. Ha ke tswa fa ko tswa ba ntlierile mo nthong e ke llang ka yone. Bontateba. Gona no ka bona gona le dikgomo mo. Ha le tla for sekolong di jara le kra dikgomo di le 10. Le expector le today. Dikgomo tse be di nna 10. Dikgomo tse ke di nyomba ga di tsale na. So someone over ka agriculture bereka ka dikgomo tsele o tshwantsa nnana le record wa ge ya dikgomo tsele go fitlha be lona le tla for sekolo le ska tla after 5 years la kra dikgomo tsele ntse di le 10 gape tshwantse le botse dipotso bagolo. Trekere ga ke itse gore government a rona re le I mean di parents tsa bana ba secondary le re reketse place na. Trekere ngwe blue ga eo ele ga nke bereka le gona ngane ba re ngane ka re ba go first queue ile starta ya ganoduma le ga o ka re ba starta gone ano tšhelete e vehicle le ditseng ka yone
tšhelete dikgomo tse 16 le di tseng ka yone because ga di address hope. It was better ga ke rekisa Iveco ke le chairperson wa SGB ebe ke le addressa le batsadi ka be ke le bolella gore ka tšhelete teng ro etsang ka yone le rekile avansa le rekise Iveco maloba banane ba deliver ka vene maloba ma grade 12 na deliver ka vene after the late studies tsa bona e right tabeo tshwantse re kgalemele ke lenyatso nthweo ke lenyatso nthweo ntho nngwe gape di-posto ga di tswa ka nepotism the way ba re treatang ka teng mo governmenteng ya rona mo O31 le mo sekolong ba etsa the very same thing ba founelana ba bolelane ka difounu ka mamuso o tlhagelele ko secondary go na le post e tswileng why ba sa di advertise ba go le re ke sa tsenya go gotlhe mare nna ka tlo le bolela nna le ga ba ka etsang ba bua ba tsama ba bua le ka dua tsa potsa lona mare nna le botso ke mo paletseng ko politiking ka kwa gore why go sa swana pele go shwele comrade Modise pele o tla le bolella a me comrade a ke tshabe stop
Yes, Papa. Hey.
Baholo ke a le dumedisa lotlhe ke nna Jacob Nkala ke moagi wa Magalese. Baholo le tla re itshwarela ka go tla ka nako e thata e le tlileng ka yona. Ha e sale re le emetse ka dilemo since from 2019. Mo gare ga sekolo se bagolo re na le mathata e le gore a kana ka sepe a ne le gore nka be le kgodiwo tse di solvilwe kgale. Batho ba ka mo gare ga sekolo se bagolo ba kgethana ka setšhomi ba rekana ka setšhomi re na le bana mo ba feditse dikolo re na le bana ba ithutile mesebetsi empa mosebetsi mo sekolong se ba o kry ke ra re bagolo ntho e tsagalang batho ba Magalese a se batho ba ntwa ke batho ba kgotso le lerato empa ke tapile e le beileng ka mo gare ga sekolo se ke yone e losang batho so ke askis go bona se se tsagalang se le se ka maikemisetso gore se diragale ntho e tsagalang mo ka jeko bagolo re tshwanetse le solve SGB e ba buang ka yone le tsefa le feditse sa tlhole le teng ra le kopa bagolo gore kgotso tle nne teng mo sekolong se ra le kopa bagolo amen.
Hello. What are you?
Ke a leboga the chairperson. MEC.
Yes.
MEC le chairperson. I'm not here to respond. The only thing is la mogore batho ba ba tle re bue nnete. A ke re le tlile meeting. Le rile you are not parents number one. When we call parents meeting you don't come. So let's address you in this platform. Because Chairperson, can I speak? No. I cannot relax. When your only problem for you failed the interview. And you can prove that to me.
All right. Amanda. Yeah, look here. Oh. Wait. Ah.
Right now?
But Abatement, our disruptor, they will not get.
Jepson, we've been listening to the disruptors there. Can they listen to you when you respond and the MEC responds to whatever the issue that they are raising? Because we cannot just listen to them and they don't want to listen to the portfolio committee. Can they keep quiet? Listen?
All right, it's fine. Namfas here. Namfas, wait. Namfas. Wait. Yeah, Namfas, wait. Namfas here alone. Arkombe meeting waka. Angeroke meeting waka. Yeah, Arkombe meeting waka. So, Mamela. We're not chairperson ya SGP. All right, no kaul. All right. Aye, Nafas. Wait. Why is it, Mamela? Why is it Trekle Salamone? Professor Wally MEC. Wait. MEC utla tswa le lona. Au bua lona hantle le mo explainele. All right. Wait. Angeriki wait. Mamel. Wait.
Yes.
Hey, man.
Kian.
Okay.
Kian up.
Wait to come over.
Phone. Only the pies. Aja, how qualify phone on that or your gadget? Can't hear any sound check. Can we get a sound?
All right, redelegate le Mamela. Redelegate le DDG, le Chief Director to come le bue le bona mosale morake ena tlo itshwarang so that re tswele pele ka this part. And then wait, wait. Issue ya lona ke SGB, correct? How only issue SGB? Mamela, mamela. If issue SGB, Kio, Liana Wata. So, what do you want to? All right, Mamela. But the parents and the community, ki yo DDG waruna fa. Zamali liatelian, yes. Yeah, let me see it. All right. So Luna, if the battle work SGB, basalem rao, but no. I go Kupeli. Kia ujweza, au nyaga discuss SGB. Ya buali DDG. No.
Bagolo. Arven MEC chance a bue bagolo.
Dumelang bana beso. Dumelang bana beso. Le hantle. Kopa re utlwane. A ke re ka opela kaofela rona mare re ka se bue kaofela rona ke. And man le mang a batlang go bua ke re tshwantse re mo fetsebe. So that lo o mongwe a le mmo a ska re o tsamaile a sa utlwa kere. So ke a le kopa bana beso. We are here the whole day to listen to you. No one is going to live here without listening. No, sa hlompi ngwaneso. Abana sa hlompi. You are making things difficult for all of us. We can do as much as we are doing. We can shout and scream, who will benefit? Our children that's supposed to be in class to study and get proper education will suffer. And I'm here for them. Exactly, and that is why we're here. And no, it's fine. If you are choosing to scream, if you are choosing to scream, if you are choosing to scream, it means that you are not going to go ahead with the meeting. Banabes, ke kopa o le leboha for hlompho ya lona, ra utlwana? Kopa o le leboha for hlompho ya lona. But if there is someone who thought will come here and disrupt the meeting, that person is wrong. We are going to proceed with this meeting. We are proceeding by listening to everyone. Because we want to know what are the problems here. But if you are screaming without telling us what are the problems, it's not going to assist anyone. Because in the ultimate end, we must listen to resolve your problem. But if the environment is not conducive for us to listen to resolve the problem you are raising with us, then it's not going to assist. We are here to listen to everyone. And there must be order. If there is no order, and you want us to resolve your problem, we will not even hear your problem. I've been here for the last 20 minutes or so. I don't even know what's the problem. Because I can't listen when people are speaking. And I'm here to listen to the problems. And you know what you do, ne? No matter how valid your point can be, but the manner in which you raise your point determines who you are. No matter how valid your point it is, the manner in which you raise your points determine who you are. And we are not going to be held hostage by your character. We are going to be held hostage by the challenges of the school. Because we want to solve the challenges of the school. If ustering ustwaga molenting, we will respect butering bahao. No. That is why I'm saying we will respect who you are. We will not chase you away. You can shout at us. You can do whatever you want to do. We will listen to you, Rona. Because Rona, re godisitswe hantle. If wena wa godiswa hantle, it's not going to be a problem. Oh, no, that's fine. It's fine. We are going to listen to you. We are going to listen to you. I can tell you, Chairman, we are going to listen to everyone. I want to tell you, we are not leaving here. Whether Ibao saying we are going to listen to everyone because we want to know the problems. Whether you raise them, go shout or scream, we will impose our ears on you to listen to you. We will listen to you. But if you are not going to respect us, we will respect you. Even if you don't respect us, we will respect you because we are here to serve you. We are not here to serve our jacket. We are not here to serve any other person. We are here to serve everyone. And we are going to listen to everyone. So, Chair, there is no one who's going to be stopped from being listened to. Any side. You can sing if somebody is talking, it's fine. After singing, we'll listen to that person. If you want to counteract what he's saying, we will give you the mic and say it. So that everyone is listened to. The meeting will go ahead and the meeting will listen to everyone. Whether you are disrespectful or you are respectful, we will listen to you. But I want to know what are the problems. And the only way to know the problems is to listen to all of you. So I want us to start afresh. I'm going to hand over to the chair. I'm going to jot down the issues and we will respond to the issues. But But regardless how agitated you are, I'm pleading with you, raise the issues with respect so that we can listen to you. So, Chairperson, we will postpone our program now. We'll hold on your program. I'm very sorry. I need to apologize to you and members of the committee. We came here on your invitation to deal with issues. It's quite clear there are problems in this school. I've been in this school not more than 5 times. So if there are new issues or old issues, because I'm here, I really feel we need to listen to everyone that is here, so that we know the nature of the problem, so that by the time we leave, we can attend to those particular problems. I don't want to disrespect you today. I don't want to disrespect you. Ke kopa all empty chairs, ariduleng ditulong, re berekisane mo. Let there be order, batho ba Modimo. Ke a le kopa. Just take your seat. You can do la mo. I don't mind. Do la ngona mo, but let's sit on top of the chairs and solve the problems together. Kabutu. Just sit down. Sit down. Let's all be seated. Let's all be seated. Empty. We are not going anywhere. We want to know what are your problems. We want to know your problems. And I can tell you, we will solve that problem. We'll solve that problem. Chairperson, there is order. I'm handing over to you. Run the meeting the way you want to run the meeting. But I want to listen to the problem and the challenges of this school so that we can solve them. We can't solve them if you don't know what are the problems. Thanks, Chair.
No, thank you, MEC. We had invited the principal from the school, Asbestos. There's a situation in the school that requires our attention. And we don't want to keep you here long. We will come back to this issue. We will come back to this particular program in a week or so. We'll communicate. But because now we are faced with this situation of the school, it will not be right that we leave it hanging. So if you want to leave, especially the principals that came here because of asbestos schools, it's okay. We will come back because we are supposed to present. And we are going to suspend the program so that we can address this matter. I didn't know. I think the MEC as well. But we will have another meeting, definitely. I feel limo. Okay. So the principal and all the colleagues from the schools, if you want to go, you can go as and when. We've suspended the program. We'll focus now on Magaliesberg secondary school issue. So what we're going to do, I can cue from what the MEC has said. But this time, MEC, I'm going to control how long a person speaks. Okay? So, now, bana ba fotse line le kana la boya happy kare wa proceeding ka Magaliesberg All right. We've also got people, wait. Emanyan, wait. Renaleba to online. So our colleagues that are online, we've got more than 100 colleagues that are online. Also yourselves, you can also be excused. You can also log off. But honorable members must remain online, because we also require their guidance as and when we are resolving this issue of the school. Thank you.
All right, ke a leboga chairperson le MEC. Ka lebitso ke Sthembiso Mosito. I'm the current chairperson of the SGB, Magaliesburg Secondary School. I'm not here to respond. Agere MEC o buile re le gale ka goa, but re tlo le mamela. Equally le nna ke tlo le mamela, ke kopa le mamela. I'm happy that the committee came. The only issue is that the committee needs another business of the day. But we are happy that this meeting MEC has been turned to Magaliesburg secondary issues on number of reasons. That one, we as this school we have a problem. The problem is that I can start the issue here, the interest of the community in a school. I want to raise that point. Why I'm raising issue here, the interest in a community from a school, or what is it that the community must support the school with? To make sure, MEC1, we have done the issues at the intervention programs, where we see the failing rate is high, starting from grade 8 up to grade 12. The failing rate is high. We have issue of ill discipline in this school that needs to be addressed. But when we call parents meeting, there's evidence and proof that parents do come to meetings, those who have kids. Hence, I'm highlighting the fact that what is the interest of the community in a school? How does the community support a school? All of us, when we come to the school, we only raise issues of tenders, MEC. We only raise issues of corruption and allegation. But all these other issues we are saying, let them be tested. We are happy that we are here. Let those allegations be tested. Let all members of the SGB, I'm the chair of the SGB, I will speak on behalf of them, that MEC were open that these allegations should be tested, so that the community must allow the kids to come to school. You can't have community that disrupt school in the name of a tender. You can't have a community that disrupt a learner from going to class, mobilizing learners to say you must strike because of so and so I'm alleging orofile chomiache business. So I'm saying, MEC, all these issues that are being raised here, and the first time when I stood up, I did not want to speak of issues that are happening. I wanted to suggest that can you do a visit, but already you have suspended the issues of asbestos. Let me continue. The other issue, Chairperson, is that issue of a boarding facility. We're having a serious challenge about an issue of a boarding facility. Initially, it's supposed to cater 250 learners who are traveling a distance not more than 5-kilometer radius. Initially, that was the plan, to open a boarding facility. But now last year we had 127 matriculants who we forced that they must stay in a boarding. This year we are having 112 matriculants that other dormitories are not in good condition for occupation. So we are appealing to yourself to say, have an intervention on this one, because our kids, if we are doing intervention programs, they come to school from 7, they leave at 5 o'clock. And then when they get home, they're already tired, they can't start. So we are requesting that, because we took a decision with parents in a meeting, because we have a schedule of meetings where we call all parents, with parents on different grades, we do that. Particularly our plan, we are concentrating on grade 12s and grade 8s. 2 weeks back, we had a meeting of grade 12s and parents of grade 12s and grade 8. We have that intervention plan. The principal and the SMT, they have that plan. So if we can concentrate on an issue to make sure that issue of boarding gets addressed. The other issue, MEC, that I want to raise is the issue of opportunities in Magaliesburg Secondary. I've raised this several times when we are here. Because we are giving a normal allocation, because we are having 3 buildings. We are having this building as a boarding facility. You have West Call, you have that other side with a day call. What happens is that we are giving 1 million to purchase books and to also services and the issue of maintenance. We have 3 buildings. It's not enough for us to maintain these buildings. That's number 1. Number 2, there's an allocation of a school of specialization that we are given as a school, because our school is falling under a category of school of specialization. We are given, as per the business plan, we are given 3 million that we can account for today, where you are supposed to be buying things that speaks to schools of specialization. Now, MEC, if you look at these 3 buildings, it becomes difficult for the school to maintain. The issue of ESCOM, the issue of water, all your utilities, it becomes a problem for a school to maintain. This building, secondary, several times we were told that a budget body has been controlled at the head office. It's a paperless man. It's been controlled at the head office. Even today, if we are going to proceed up until Huneli 5th, there's issue of maintenance that needs to be taken. There are other dormitories at any time we might find a problem or one gets injured. We're appealing to you, MEC, that you do that intervention as soon as possible. The other issue, the last one is the issue, the other issue is scholar transport. When you came here, remember, MEC, our school does not fall under a category of scholar transport. So now we're having a problem that Banaba crowd and Agodi busing because of issue your body. Hence, I'm saying try to make sure that we resolve this matter. Thank you.
Dumelang bagolo ka lebitso ke nna Foster Tefophiri mare batho ba bantsi ba nkitse ka lebitso la divorce dilo di dintsi bagolo tse di etsagalang ke vo parent Yeah. So, the issues tsaka ga di dintsi. As you see that the community is angry, it's not so many things that are happening or our community wants to do the things that they're doing. The problem is one. The community has managed to attend the principal, not disturbing the school, to come here in numbers and say, can you please speak to the principal during the week? We came with our grievances, says the principal. The problem is one. We are not happy. Our kids at school are being given tin fish every day with soup. Secondly, our kids, I hear the chairperson is talking about lacking of transport. But the SGB has managed to sell 122-seater, knowing that they've got a lack of transport. The tractor that you see outside, it was hired today so that the department might see the tractor outside. The school was so dirty at the point that you could not see even your child. Grass cutting was made this week because of the department is coming to the school. When we voice out our concerns in the meetings, the very same SGB, they'll go around with petitions telling parents lies so that the parents might come and vote for them on the very same elections. Some other SGB members, they are not parents, but they will tell you that my niece is one of the school, I miss uncle, I'm a guardian. So we are surprised, we are calling ourselves school governing body, but you don't even have one single child. The other thing that is happening in the very same school, in my point, I have never ever seen a teacher being an SGB member. But at Magaliesburg Secondary School, we have SGB members that are teachers. Our kids are. Our kids, when they voice out, no one listens to their voice. When they start going to the principal's office, they will be saying there are people that told them to protest. How can you eat tin fish every day and never complain? Even at your home, you can't eat tin fish every day, whether you are poor or not. MEC, we are happy. We are happy to see SAPs. We are happy to see SAPs in our meetings. We are not surprised. We know in Magaliesburg, when you voice out, they use SAPs. Me, myself, divorce peer. I once got arrested by the Department of SAPs, the Magaliesburg police station. I took them to High Court for civil claim. Now, I am waiting for 5 million from SAPs. So if SAPs today is going to come here and arrest anyone, if SAPs is here today to arrest anyone, our advocates will make sure that you are rich. Let me go back to the points, because if we attend the meeting and then we see SAPs, we feel so threatened. So it's fine. Let me continue. Let me proceed. MEC, we want a proper audit. We want a proper audit, MEC. We want you to be the best MEC ever. Our faith is in you, MEC. What we want is to see the SGB being disbanded. Let's give our children and our parents and our kids a proper way of learning peacefully. Let the district run the school, and then we will obtain a date that says new election day, because our SGB is so corrupt. Thank you, MC.
Dumelang bagolo. Lebitso la ka ke nna Chimane Josh Dube. Re ka bua ka botlalo. Bagaetso. MEC Panyaza. Re before ke ya go di issues tsa school. Last year March, during COVID, I told you receive a call. Call on receive a call about to give up out with the dijo. One about one about phone in LSGB person, chairperson. Utlile within 12 hours, while I come Harrisburg police station for Gulela case, in Napatabo. Nelena Ntatesaki and Drumudau, the Josatene the Hotel to Pindi, go food. Go food bank. How old la Oyama Harrisburg police station? Bar Ntate Panyaza. Refer complainant Mungadijo regular case. Only to find out if information is wrong. Dijo neleta rona. Wata raya food bank relo addressa issue. Rai sorta out ke a lebo go bo romella masole. O bo re ware Honta te ke a le lebo ga mo batlang dijo tse dingwe gape. Re le government re shota ka dijo. Ka gopola sentle o itse wa re ne gona le donation e kae ya makula. O re la le tshwana le makula ale ka le lebo ga mo batlang dijo tse dingwe. Mara Ntate Panyaza. O itse o tshwana le ntate ba re ke mang? O ne le wa health. Ne ke le respecta thata ka le respecta le ka jiko. Mmero kwa lona la wait. 3 years back o no le mo holonyi. Same issue. Agona motlakase, building ya cracker, building ya nela. Le ka jeko ntse le zona tsi. Ntata Panyaza o itse o diseng ka nako eo. O rile wa SGBA ya gala. Batho ba magalesi tlogelang go kgeta batho ba ba galang. Avoid this banda with immediately fact wa ba fa makwalo after meeting. So Ntate Panyaza bothata bole sempe bolete same problem. Skolo ke sele ka jeko go duma generator rental. Batho ba re skolo di funds a dio, skolo di funds a dio. Rental ke ele ka jeko. E re ke le bolelle something se le sa sitse maybe Ntate Panyaza ne le sa sitse. Skolo se ne se irisiwa papa. Le gona le batho ba irisetswa skolo se. Tšhelete patela. Ka le kopa bontate ne. Principal no se yo kana kwa teng a o molato we ka le kopa bontate issues tsa di maintenance di gizara di a etsang le ska fang batho ba tšhelete maintenance batho ba na betsa tšhelete batho ba na ba hirisa sekolo se ne se ikeletsa tšhelete so ba batla tšhelete ko lona ka fa ba hirisa sekolo ga ke tlhaloganye gore go etsagalang teng fu le ska ba fang tšhelete ya maintenance neng ikile go nna le beshe ka go di grand room ka go rekisiwa majwala go etsuwang go etsuwa di funds tsa sekolo batho ba bana le tšhelete neng last year go jilwe nguni khao ya tura letlalo fela la teng la tura
ga lena tšhelete le ja nkuni khao le ra gore ba re beletsa kitse party le di-staff tsa fa di na le staff party go berekisiwa tšhelete ya sekolo ntate Panyaza se feng batho ba tšhelete gore go nna le kgotso a kitse le ba fe voucher maybe go ka nna betere se feng batho ba tšhelete so ntate Panyaza e ruling e o editseng 3 years ago kopa le ka jeko yetse ke gopola sentle go te SGB ipatetse e be go nna le commission di-works kile di a matha mo Magalesi druzo tsa teng masinga ba tswa teng le ka jeko ga iseng re report eo ntate Panyaza re kopa da report re kopa report eo e tlo balola community motho o tshwarang a tshwara druzo burwa ka go rata ga le sentse tshwarwang di-issues di dingata mara tla ke khate ke batho batsadi ba Magalesi kopa le itseng serious le tseng le education ya bana ba lona serious bagolo ba Magalesi phoso e fai gore se ka sotiwa out lebaka la bontate be mmereko mongata le tla fa go te mo kgetang SGB ntate Panyaza la bofelo gana le o itse le kgeta batho ba ba galang la bitso go totlo le kgeteng SGB le kgeta ba ba janya no ba ntlhana ba gala yana ba ba ja molato o na le lona le kgeta batho ba ba wrong ga le fetsa le tlo re bolela he chimane o utlwile ko sekolong ho stop ntho eo ka leboga ba gaitso
dumelang bagolo le kae gate mme o e tshwara ko bogale mare fo Magalesi ke bona gare ke tshwara ke liwa fo mme ba batlo emella nna ntate Panyaza ntho ke tlo botsang yone ke nna Matshiso Masebe ngwana go kena sekolo fo Magalesi Secondary School ntho ke bonang fo Magalesi Secondary School ke gore ka 11 ba bulela bana gate tsa mo jang ko bolona ba ba fa awara bana ba yo tsuba di drugs ba yo tsuba di kwai ba ba bulela ba re tsamayang le tla boa ka 12 ne and then ha o ka tayana ka phakela 8 o'clock bana ba secondary school e se ba iphere go tla sekolong ba tsena sekolong ka bo ma 8:30 to 9 ebile ba kompotsa straight are ai ko sekolong a bana bothata le ka 9 ra tsena ke batlo itse gore since o kena sekolo sa le ba go bulela ba re tsa mo ja lunch kwa lona since ke university ke college ke primary ke secondary ke high school le ba re tsa moja kwa lona o tla bua ka 1 hour yotlhe eo e ba ifileng ngwana gore a be mo strateng o irang ka yone ha to be the drugs ka mo gona le corruption last ne gona le sports ko grandong go thomile bana ba ko state ba behave le shema ne ke le teng ke nna ko mora ha sekolo ke tlile ka ba lebella mare ba fo secondary ba tlile ka dipikara go tsuba di habli go tshwere mabotlola mabjala go nwiwa go le monate le sport sa teng a zanka bona re number 1 ke man number 2 ke mang because of mo go iketsetswa ba re ke ko izo so ke batlo itse ra o le ntate o na le ngwana a tsena ko sekolong se se so o tlo reng fa go iketsetswa fa ba le botsa maka ba re sekolo se corrupt se principal a ke itse gore o etse mo mollong or o tlile before mollo mare mo ke mollo wa khwatshiwa le security system sa ba bulela ba re tsomo jang le tla boa ka 12 ebile ba banga ba boi ba tsile ka 11 a ba sa tla sekolo stwile so kopa le lokisa tabeso ka le kopa go so for Magalesi Secondary School thank you.
Thank you. Lebitso la ka ke Andrew Motau. I'm a parent at the school. Andrew Motau. Yes. I'm a parent at the school. I'm also one of the disbanded SGB members 3 years ago at MEC. MEC, people have spoken. I don't want to delay. And then I want to assure you, we are very respectful community in Magalesburg. We respect a lot. The problem is when people don't listen to people.
Okay, la nkutlwa ya